felt no emotion. He did not hesitate to inflict pain. Now, all he feels is intense, unstoppable agony.
Moana Exiles, I am here with you on this lovely Sunday with a build update on Volcanic Fissure of Snaking Juggernaut. It was my league starter and I have been scaling it upward for the past 2 weeks, and just last night I had a spout of good luck and I was able to upgrade many pieces of gear and finally turn it to that next level. No longer are we dealing fire damage, we are now dealing full chaos damage with Volcanic Fissure of Snaking, and it is an absolute blast, as you saw in the maze of the Minotaur clear there, taking inspiration from Captain Lance 9. Thanks for the inspiration. It's my go-to now for showcasing builds. We're going to look at the build itself, see exactly how I built it up and where I am going in the future, and how you can replicate this build in Trade League. I'd recommend Trade League. I wouldn't go for this in solo self-found or hardcore solo self-found or any of that. It does rely on a few very particular items, especially from Heist, and it's really easy to pick them up in Trade League, especially if you have good luck for just a few hours like I did. So without further ado, let's hop right into the build itself and showcase how I made it. This is it. This is my dude, Try Fissure. He has been a blast to play, and this is what his character sheet looks like at the moment. You can see I'm level 96. I've got quite a high strength, not in comparison to some of those others on PoE Ninja where I'm getting inspiration, but I'm building my way up there. Now you can see here, this is my inventory, and this build comes together thanks to a few items. I am strength stacking as a Juggernaut, so I am going to want the Iron Fortress, which increases my chance to block attack damage per 50 strength. It gives me a substantial amount of strength, and it gives me this awesome bonus. Strength's damage bonus instead grants 3% increased melee physical damage per 10 strength. I then also have a few other uniques. Some are low cost, and one is very high cost. A low cost one right here is Replica Frost Breath. I will put the current price from PoE Ninja on screen now. Replica Frost Breath adds chaos damage to my attacks and says one key thing here. Your chaos damage can chill. Attacks with this weapon deal double damage to chilled enemies. That is vital because we are going to be dealing chaos damage thanks to Replica Alberon's Warpath, which gives us 17% increased strength, helps with the strength stacking, says we cannot deal non-chaos damage, and adds 1 to 80 chaos damage to attacks per 80 strength. So now we're getting chaos damage pops because we're not doing fire, physical, cold, anything else. We're only doing chaos damage, which is scaling up thanks to our strength right here, which you can see is at 1794. We can get that to upwards of 2,200, which that's where we're working toward right now. And that's going to happen when we upgrade our rings right here, which you see can have the strength attribute from the catalyst boosted up there. We can also get a better amulet. Right now we're using an Astramentus with max attributes and the quality attribute modifiers on there at the 20%. Our belt can be a little bit improved as well. You can see I actually have crafted on strength. You want a % increased strength belt. These don't cost an absolute ton, but they cost more than usual stuff. I got mine for about 50 Chaos Orbs as the base. I'm not sure what they're going at now. I will once again put a price on screen now from PoE Trade so you know exactly what you're getting into. Another unique that you really want is Red Blade Banner, which enables us to get the max power for one of our war cries here. We're using Call to Arms and Battle Mage's Cry so that we can get our strength damage bonus to apply to spell damage as well. Battle Mage's Cry turns our melee strikes essentially into spell strikes for just a few exerted attacks, which is a tremendous amount of damage at the end of the day. One more vital piece of gear right here is my Chimeric Glance Royal Burgonet. It has Warlord influence on it, and it currently has one key mod: gain accuracy rating equal to your strength. That is absolutely massive because as a Juggernaut, when we stack strength, we also get attack speed per 150 accuracy rating and gain accuracy rating equal to twice our strength. That is phenomenal, and that helps our attack speed scale up because using the current setup that we do with maces and everything, our attack speed isn't that great to begin with, unfortunately. Now we can take a look at the links that I have here currently. My 6th link is Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. I'm using multi-strike support, increased critical damage support, pulverized support, volatility support, and void manipulation support. I've seen people swapping out pulverized support for hypothermia support, which allows our chilled enemies to take much more damage and get chilled more easily. I might try swapping out to that. However, it will be difficult to roll 2 greens, 1 blue, and 3 reds for the Iron Fortress. That's 3 off-color sockets, and I don't want to absolutely waste every single chromatic orb that I have. My flasks are in a pretty good place right now. I have my health, my granite, my amethyst, my topaz, and my diamond, because as you can see, I need that topaz flask for now because my resistance for lightning is only at 57%. I plan on swapping the resistance to fire to lightning on my belt so that instead of being way overcapped on fire, I will be capped on lightning as well and not need this topaz flask. I'll probably be able to change that out for a sulfur flask, maybe the unique Dying Sun. I think that should definitely help with my damage, which already is phenomenal. One last thing we can look at here are my gloves. They are total crap. You can see they have strength on them and they have +3 maximum life. I can get some way better mods on here. That is exactly what I'm working toward upgrading now. And speaking of upgrades, let's talk about what exactly I can do to make this character better in the future. So as I stare out here at this massive cosmic turtle, I need to think about where I can go to upgrade this character. There are a few easy upgrades. One is getting Awakened Void Manipulation support. That costs around 2 divines right now. I'm working my way up there. I'll eventually get it. Next up is actually using an Awakening Orb to combine this Warlord Influence mod with a Hunter mod to get essentially way more critical strike chance based on my accuracy rating and strength. I really want to do that. Next up is actually a project that I have in my stash right here. As you can see, it's Oscarm. It's getting the correct rolls in terms of sockets and colors on these gloves with the modifier Curse Enemies with Despair on hit. These will eventually be replacing my rare gloves because not only did they give 2% increased attack critical strike chance per 200 accuracy rating, they also give me trigger level 10 Assassin's Mark when you hit a rare or unique enemy and have no mark. That'll free up some of my socket pressure that I have right here and allow me to boost in some other cool stuff like Ancestral War Chief. That's something I don't currently have right now and could definitely use on this character in the future. In addition to everything we just looked at, let's just take a brief look at the passive skill tree. You can see that I have a few cluster jewels that are nice and powerful. I'm getting Lead by Example and Warning Call. I absolutely love Lead by Example. When you Warcry, you and nearby allies gain Onslaught for 4 seconds. That is absolutely phenomenal, and it gives us Onslaught almost permanently. You can also see that I have a Lethal Pride right here, which is getting us some nice extra strength in this radius. I also have clusters all the way down over here, and you might be asking, why are they all the way down in this corner? That's a weird mapping that you've done. Well, it's because I have 2 split personalities. Each are strength and armor. Each are giving me about 70 strength. It's pretty awesome, and it's a substantial boost to the strength here. The cluster jewel itself has fuel to fight and martial prowess. There is one other notable that I could get here, but I am fine with these 2 for now, especially this one. Fuel to fight, 0.4 of attack damage leached as mana. That is helping solve my mana problem, of which I'm still having a little bit of an issue with. You can see I've taken skills cost life instead of 30% of mana cost. That's because I was having some problems with the sheer amount of mana that Volcanic Fissure of Snaking now costs. It's really running me dry. I also have one more unique jewel right here. It's Inertia. It essentially turns all the passives here that would grant dexterity to granting strength. It gives me a nice amount of extra strength. So I'd recommend you put it right here if you're pathing all the way down in this direction. Made a quick trade there because even while I'm recording a video, I gotta make sure that I am serving the people well. So that is the build as it stands right now. If you have any other questions, please make sure to leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. I think I'll also be posting a POB of the build, not with a guide per se yet, unless people actually want it, but just with a few tips and tricks and my progression path on this build. I started it at the beginning of the league and I've been having an absolute blast with it. I highly recommend this skill. People may say melee is dead, but I seem to think it's far from the truth. You can play melee, it's just a little tougher than other skills, classes, whatever. Try it out, think for yourself as I've been preaching, and make sure if you like the video to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends. I'd love to see the price for some of these items absolutely skyrocket and to see more people playing Volcanic Fissure of Snaking in Necropolis League. It's a fun one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Talakura. Have a wonderful day.